Welcome to the Next Level Tech Arcade. I'm your host, as always, Nick Smith, and with me today is Schuyler from INFiLED, and we're gonna play pool. Well, he's gonna play pool, and I'm gonna scratch a lot, but that's okay. All right, and speaking of which, you're breaking, because my breaks are pathetic, and I don't want it to be seen by the world. All right.
Let's get after it.
Schuyler, INFiLED, what in the world do you guys do?
So we sell LED screens, anything from as big as something in Times Square, like sports arenas, to something in a corporate boardroom. Anything that's a little bigger than a TV.
And we're talking direct view LED.
Correct.
All right. And, I gotta make a decision here. There's nothing that I'm gonna be able to sync, but I'm gonna try. See? I will try. All right, how big can you get?
It could be as big as you would like. Basically, every LED is a building block, so it could be, anything from like 8 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet wide. It could be 50 feet. It could be 100 feet wide. It could be 100 feet tall.
And everybody uses, pixel pitch as kind of the differentiator. So what are the pitches you guys are producing?
So typically we have anything from a 0.9, 0.7 to 16, 20 millimeter.
16, and then where does somebody use any? I mean, I can put my fist between pixels at that size.
Yeah.
So where does that even go?
So a higher pixel pitches is typically based on how far away. So larger pixel pitches would be inside of buildings, billboards, like arenas maybe. Smaller pixel pitches would be like in a boardroom setting, something that somebody is very close to the screen.
Okay, you guys did not tell me you were brought in a ringer for this.
I wish.
Pool shark over here. All right, so talking about the LED industry, right? I thought I was actually gonna be up, and I thought, okay, that was good. Wait, what are you running on? You're running on stripes?
Yep.
So I'm solid? So just looking at the LED industry in general right now, what's exciting for you that's happening in LED?
I think just the scale of the amount of people that are using LED now. Like you'll see it in high schools, you'll see it in, movie theaters almost now. You see it almost everywhere, and it's taking off more than I've ever seen it before, so.
Oh, I couldn't set him up any better on that shot over there. That's just brilliant.
We'll see if I make
So
this.
what would a high school use LED for?
Education, maybe production, since I think a lot of production is kind of taking off, especially with the LED aspect of it all. So at production, they could have educational pieces on it, auditorium-based stuff.
That was the coolest shot I will be able to produce all day. So let's talk about innovation. What kind of innovation is happening in the space? I mean, LED, I think, is pretty mature now. So what's the innovation? What's kind of happening next, or where is it heading when we look at LED?
I think where it's heading is definitely virtual production, kind of like production sense and entertainment pieces for like the public to enjoy. So like perfect example is the LA Sphere or the Las Vegas Sphere. Just the entertainment aspect of just LEDs all around you, and you kind of feel like you're in a different world.
What do you think's the bigger draw there, the outside or the inside of the sphere? Because I think the inside's cool, but I'm sorry, I could stare at the outside all day long.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So that's the thing. It's like the outside is just as good as the inside. Like the inside is an experience, just like the outside is, just different types of experiences.
What do you think the pixel pitch is on the outside of the sphere?
I would say maybe anywhere from 16 millimeters up to 20.
It's pretty wide, no doubt. So let's talk about the technology in LED. And by the way, you're up, and I tried to get you nothing, but I'm sure you're going to make something out of it. What is coming to LED that's going to change the LED industry? Like, what's the next evolution of the technology itself?
So there's different type of LED packages currently being developed. One is called COB, and then the newer one is called MIP. And basically what those are, the type of packages that the LED board will have for the pitches and whatnot. So the COB and the MIP are more durable, so they can almost be like, full on punched and no damage is done. So it's kind of like the durability as well as the power and I'm trying to find the word for that.
Like the power usage?
Yeah, like the power usage almost, but.
So you're seeing the power requirements go down in terms of how much electricity is being sucked?
Yeah, exactly. Less power is being used, more durable.
And are the LEDs themselves getting smaller, or are they staying the same size and we're just packing them
Same
closer?
size, so the pixel pitches will remain the same. Okay. It's just a different type of how they're kind of put together.
Got it. Okay, now the big buzzword that I'm hearing and is micro LED. Mm-hmm. What is that?
Micro LED is basically LED that's getting to almost similar to like the level of a TV. So the tighter the pixel pitch is kind of micro. So anything that's 0.7, 0.9 is considered micro.
Really? Okay. So
there's some that even go down to 0.4.
Ooh. And that's where we're starting to see the equivalent of a TV in terms of density and in the pixels. Interesting. I'm assuming that's harder to produce.
Correct.
Harder to manufacture. Is it therefore?
So the thing that's good about the technology that I mentioned, the MIP and the COB, is actually easier to mass produce. It's just getting to that phase of the cost is where I guess it's at now. But in terms of production, it is easier to produce and faster to produce the COB and the MIP packages just based how the production lines are set up.
Interesting. And then is there I'm assuming it's like all LED, you can scale up as big as you want it at that point. What is, if you look, you've been in LED a long time now. Is there ever the moment where you saw an installation and go, I would have never thought anybody would put one of those there? Like, that was just like the not typical use case. Because the typical use case is the side of a building, a billboard, a conference room, and maybe now a studio.
Yeah.
Where have you seen these things drop that you thought, I never thought of that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because like I think a lot of LED is like, it has a purpose in the corporate setting in the sense of like putting up a PowerPoint. But there's also a side of LED where it's like the creative side, and it's giving people walking by, consumers, an experience that kind of pulls them into a store or anything like that. Like sometimes retail stores have pretty creative setups where they kind of have staircases going up, or some people have, they write out their logo in LED. Stuff like that is pretty interesting to see.
You screwed me, man.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty bad.
I'm just gonna have to create destruction here. All right. What do you think's missing from the LED space? Notice I always ask him a question just before he goes to hit. It's the only way I'll win.
I think the capability of the LED panel being its own functioning panel as opposed to having systems on the back end. So like in the sense of...
So processing in each panel, you think?
Yeah, almost like where the panel can have its own monitoring without the concept of having a controller.
Oh.
So basically you just put up your panels and that's it.
I cannot believe I screwed that shot up. That's just bad. So you could slap a panel on the wall. You thinking like a direct HDMI port on that thing, or still have external processing?
I think probably like something that would control the content going into it.
Oh, more like a media player.
But right? Almost like to the point where the LED panels have very little wiring and kind of that aspect of it all, and then everything is kind of just built into the panel. You just kind of build them up, and then you just plug and play almost.
Well, that looked much better in my head before I hit that one.
I'll start making some here.
So what's missing from the INFiLED message? I mean, if you've been there long enough now, and you've got good roots in history in the LED industry. What do people not know about INFiLED that makes them special?
I think what makes INFiLED special is the people that works at INFiLED. every LED company is pretty much the same at this point. Everybody's doing their own spin on every pixel pitch or product type. I think what separates a company is how their people interact with other people.
What if I go, can I go right-handed? You think I can get this right-handed, guys? Oh, it was a worthy shot. Because, I mean, most LEDs are coming from the same factories, right?
Yeah,
like at least the initial SMDs, the initial LED modules are coming from the same places. So it's all in how the individuals decide to define it and build it.
Yeah, since it's kind of, the market is getting, there's so many players in the market now that I think you got to find a differentiator. And one of the differentiators I think is customer service and the people that you have kind of selling the product for you. Relationships, that type of stuff. The help of distributors like JB&A.
Oh, you don't throw down for us. Gosh. Is there any new products coming from INFiLED that you're allowed to talk about right now?
We're definitely expanding on the MIP LED packages. We're developing products in our typical lines that are kind of meeting those specs and getting down to the, because I think that's where the market is heading, is the MIP packages.
What about the all-in-one? That's a new product category.
That's another product category. We're a little late to the market on that one, but our product, I think, is, fits just as well with the rest of the market with that.
Late in terms of everybody else has already been building one, or? I mean,
yeah, so basically, all-in-one has been in the market for some time, and INFiLED has just got involved in that space, and I think we're going to be able to make some noise in that space given the quality of our product.
Wow, you didn't really leave me a lot of choices here. That was no good. That was pathetic. I didn't get my, pretty much call that a scratch. So the all-in-one, the concept of that one is that you got everything built into the chassis, everything built into the framework, no external processing. You effectively have an HDMI port and a power cord, and you're up and running, right?
Correct.
And what sizes is that coming in?
108-inch and 136-inch. So it's a little bigger than your standard TVs, so it fits perfectly in, large corporate boardrooms and stuff like that.
All right, well, Schuyler and I clean up the rest of this mess here that I may have made. We're gonna leave you with this. Schuyler, thanks for being here. Thanks for being on Next Level Tech, the arcade version. Hopefully I can get that last one down and I will win pool for once. Other than that, we'll see you all on the next episode of Next Level Tech, the arcade games. All right, let's keep going here.